my dolls, welcome back to my channel. My name is Edith and I am the owner of Body Contour and Doll here in Houston, Texas. In this channel we talk about body sculpting, we talk about business, we talk about entrepreneurship. So if that is something that interests you, then go ahead and subscribe and let me know in the comments that you'll be sticking around. In today's video, I actually want to talk about kind of what I've been up to, because I'm gonna be honest, I have not posted in the last month, which in the YouTube world that is like a year, and it's kind of like dog years, right? I've been a little MIA. I want to give you an update as to what I've been up to. I want to also kind of show you what I have done with my space. On the last video I did show you guys that my space was basically just like a blank canvas, and I wanted to make it look like Instagram-y, and I have done some updates to it, so I really want to show you that today. But before we get to that, I want to talk about what I've been up to, because it's important that we talk about this, okay? So the last time you saw me, I made a video about essentials on starting your business, right? I made a very brief video over how to start it without feeling overwhelmed with, one, the amount of things that you need to learn, and two, with the amount of money that you will be spending, right? To me, I just want to make it put it out there that you do not have to have it all to begin with. You make your initial investment, and then as you start to make your money back, you can further invest and in having more services in your business, and also in like better equipment or more equipment, right? On that last video that I made, I was sitting in my car and I was going through Starbucks. We had just came back from vacation and we were going to take a trip to add new services to our business, right? And by the way, I did vlog all of that, but for some reason I'm having a really hard time uploading that. It will just sit there for hours and then it just won't upload. So I did have a plan of showing you that, but it didn't work out very well. I would try again. So I have been MIA because I have been going through what I call a creative block in my mind. I have been through these, it's almost like a phase that you go through. I have been through this phase before in the past, and let me explain a little bit before I kind of get into it. What I mean by a creative block, it's almost like you experience a lot of self-doubt, right? You may feel like, okay, maybe I'm not doing this right, maybe I should be doing more, I don't know what to post to Instagram, I don't know what type of YouTube content to create. Am I being a good mom? Am I being a good wife? It's like almost like you just start self-doubting every single thing that you do, or like every aspect. I have been going through that this whole month, right? It's almost like you go through a negativity phase where you know that you shouldn't accept negativity into your life, but it does affect like certain aspects. Like, for example, I'm usually very creative. I usually have some type of creative outlet, and through this month it's just kind of been like I just been feeling like an airhead. Like there's nothing in my head. I could not come up with any content ideas, any video ideas. Yeah, I have, because I don't want to say that I have not been motivated, because that is definitely not the truth. I've still been getting up super early and getting everything that I need to get done, right, in my day-to-day life and business, and with my clients. But there's just, I feel like I just always have so much in my mind that I want to accomplish, and for this month it just didn't feel that way. When you guys saw me on that last video, I was actually 13 pounds heavier than I am today, and that just comes from the amount of stress and the amount of work and not giving myself enough time to have any self-care and any time to take care of my health and my physical health. I've been struggling like creatively, but instead of basically like getting up every single morning and posting on Instagram or like creating a video idea or maybe like sitting down to film, what I have been doing is getting up super early to make it to the gym, and I have been changing the way that I eat, and I have been changing just those types of bad habits that were created through not having the time, right, to eat well or like to work out, because we're always so busy, because we're, as a small business owner, you're basically the one that does everything, right? Another thing that I have been focusing on is making sure that I'm disconnecting. Like, for example, when I get off of work at 6 p.m 7 p.m, whatever it may be, I'll go home and work, right? I'll go home and call back, or like answer all the missed calls, all of the DMs, all of the texts, all of the emails. So for this month, have been doing is I have been disconnecting. Like, if I didn't have time to get back to you within the time that I'm at work, or within, I don't want to say that the time that I'm at work, because usually I'm hands-on, so I can't anyway, but I'll make a time through, like, before I start working, to actually do all of that. Throughout the day too, I'll be calling people back, of course, if they I just have not been doing that. So if you have messaged me or texted me or emailed me and I just did not respond, or it took me a month to respond, that is why. I have been wanting to give my family, when I go home, more time. My son is 5 years old. He'll be starting school this year, and I cannot have any more children. There's something wrong with my uterus, TMI, but it's nothing that I'm ashamed of. It's just something that, you know, that I struggle with, right? Not struggle with, because it's not like I want any more children, or like I plan to have a big family. I'm okay with just having one child, but the thing with that is that my son is growing up, and initially I wanted to have my own business so that I could actually make time to be with my one child, because he's gonna grow up and he's gonna make it to the point where he either doesn't want to be with mommy, or he would rather like be with his girlfriend, you know, and eventually he'll move out and get married. So it's important that I cherish his childhood, and feel like I'm there, right? I did not have my parents growing up. Don't get me wrong, they were there, but they would work 2 jobs at a point, you know, because of course I don't blame them. Bills need to be paid, and they had 5 kids. So can you imagine like the amount of money that it takes to to take care of a family that big? And so they were always working. So if there was ever an event at school, or like when I played sports, the other parents would show up, and well, some, you know, and mine were not there. And I always felt like, wow, how I wish that my mom was here. Maybe I would be better at this sport if I had some type of not motivation, but if I was like, okay, my mom's gonna be watching me today, so I'm gonna make sure that, like, you know, I am amazing, or when I was really amazing at certain things, I would be like, oh, well, nobody's here to congratulate me, or I would get home and tell my mom, and it was just kind of like you know, because she wasn't there to live in the moment. So it's not like you could really tell them. Or sometimes like some parents may not be as excited for something as you are because they have their own struggles that they're facing, like financial issues, whatever. So I want to feel like I am there. I want to be able to take off for him. Okay, I just went on a full rant, but anyway, I wanted to allow you to kind of come into my life and know certain things about me, right? I want you to get to know me. I actually been thinking of changing my YouTube name to my name versus my business name. I want to be able to feel comfortable sitting in front of a camera and talking to you about just certain things, like for example struggles like this, because we all glamorize owning our own businesses and having multiple streams of income, but we don't ever really show the real behind the scenes, because if you're like me, right, and you have been struggling, and then you come on YouTube and you see the person that's basically doing the same thing as you, and you see how happy they are on camera, and you see how happy their life seems, and all like the fancy things that they do, and you start to think of yourself like, oh my goodness, something must be wrong with me, because why am I feeling like I'm not doing enough? Why am I feeling like I must be missing something, but yet this other person has it all figured out? Let me just be the one to tell you that we all want to make it seem like we have our lives figured out, but the truth is that that is not the case. And I want to be that person for you that reassures you that you are not crazy, okay? We all go through hard times. We all have things on our shoulders that kind of weigh on us, right? We are all going through something mentally. So I want to feel comfortable actually showing the behind the scenes, the real behind the scenes, not just the this is how you do something, or business tips and tricks. You know, I don't want to feel like I am working when I'm on YouTube. I want to feel comfortable showing you literally everything without feeling like I talk too much in that vlog. Let me just cut everything I just said because it's gonna be boring. I feel like I'm gonna end up just filtering myself way too much. And the truth is that I want to be able to inspire and I want to be able to motivate, but if I over filter myself, this is going to become a job rather than a creative outlet, which this is what I want my YouTube channel to feel to me. I don't want it to feel like work, because I already have 1,000 things that I have to do for work. So, and if I start to view creating helpful YouTube videos for you guys as work, then I'm just probably not going to want to do it, or I'm going to dread doing it, and it's not gonna be as motivating or as inspiring or as truthful. I don't want to have to put up a front. So I want to be able to, like, for example, I find it interesting to see someone that maybe my age, or even like, let's say, older than me, and well, I had just washed my car and a freaking thing of dirt just came our way. So I find it very interesting when I find someone that may be kind of like me, you know, with a small business or with a small audience, because like my Instagram only has 3,000 followers, and so I'm very small. And if I find someone that is as small as I am, or someone that's just basically starting their journey, like like I consider myself to be, I see them showing me their life and showing me their struggles. That is interesting to me because it reassures me that it's not just me that's struggling. And for example, the fact that, like, if there was a business owner that I look up to and I see that they're struggling with their weight or their self-image, and I see that they're showing me through their videos, okay, look, I'm gonna figure out where to make time to actually make it to the gym. I'm gonna figure out where to make time to meal prep and all of that. I am going to watch that because that is interesting to me, and I want to be that type of content creator for you. Yes, I want to motivate you, right? And yes, I want to help you grow, but I also want to be relatable. I don't want you to come across my channel and feel like, wow, she has it all figured out. Can I just be perfect just like her? No. I want you to relate to me, and I want to tell you the stories of the mistakes that I've made, and I want to tell you the stories of, like, things that I've been through with clients, and things that I wish that I would have done better, and not feel like, oh, I shouldn't be saying that because then I'm gonna ruin my image or whatever. I feel like I'm going through a whole rant, right? But I will say that I will leave this in here because it's important that we all, as business owners, admit to the fact that it's not always going to be perfect, and we all go through things because at the end of the day, we are humans. You guys have seen me running on 3 hours of sleep before, right? That's actually the first video that I ever posted out there. Actually, I think I have slept for like 2 hours, and I tend to push myself to that breaking point, right? And which I would highly encourage you not to do that. But being completely honest, when you have a business, and if you want it to be successful at the beginning, it's sometimes you sometimes have to basically, like, push yourself to the breaking point. And if you're feeling broken because of that reason, I just want to be the one to tell you that it's okay. It's okay to feel that way. But with that being said, I also want to be the one to tell you that if you're feeling like you're on the ground right now, like you've just been kicked about by life, and you are freaking broken, and you are tired, and you're exhausted, and you're going through a creative block, this is what is going to inspire you to come back 10 times stronger, okay? In the past, when I have been through these creative blocks, it is when I come back like so much more motivated and inspired to do so much more. I wanted to make this video because I went ahead and went through a month where I felt like YouTube is not going to be for me, because people are negative and blah 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 blah. And guess what, guys? My creative block is finally over. So yes, content is coming, okay? So here's what happened. I have been kinda just wanting to keep my head down and just going about doing the daily thing and making sure that I take care of my clients, and not really doing much more beyond that. So now I had a training class this past weekend, right? And I thank God. See, here's the thing. I feel like when you go through hard times, even if it's mentally, I feel like God puts us in this to teach us something. So during this training session that I had this weekend, this training class, I had someone that was, of course, way older than me. She is already in her 40s, and she was coming to basically learn to be in a new career. And to me, I find that so inspiring, because usually people in their 40s, well, what I noticed working with older people, because my 5 years of working at a multi-billion company before I started my business, I noticed that usually people in their 40s and up, they look at certain career changes or certain things, and they just kind of think, no, I can't do that. I'm too old for that. Basically, that's the main phrase they would always use. I'm too old for that. And the truth is that you're never too old for anything. If you're older, if you're in that I just lost the word. If you're in that age gap of 40 and up, I want to tell you that it's never too late to do anything. It's never too late to change your life. It's never too late to start a career. It is about the way that you push through. It is the way that you push yourself to accomplish it, okay? Your age has nothing to do with it. Just because, like, for example, she gave me the perfect example. This is why I felt so inspired and motivated to do this. She basically told me how because she's in this age range, right, she can target women that are in the same age gap, and she can basically relate to the issues that these women are facing. And it is so true. My target audience is people my age, and although I get older people as well that I love, they're always so sweet, I feel like when they start to tell me their problems, because I always want to get to know someone, I always want to know what their focus areas are, you know, so that I can actually help them. They will say, well, you know, I'm having this issue and I feel some bloating, and then they look at me and they're kind of like, oh, but you would not know about that because you're too young. Or like, they're like, I want to get rid of this big old belly, and I just struggle so hard to lose weight, and my hormones and blah 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 blah. And then they'll look at me and they'll see, oh, but you don't have none of those issues and your body looks perfect. And the reason they think my body looks perfect is just because they're older than me. And a lot of times, like me, myself, I used to think I was fat back then, but guess what? I actually looked really good back then. So right now I'm feeling fat, and I may look at myself like years from now and think, oh my god, I looked really good then. You get the point, right? So the fact that she knew who her target audience would be was just brilliant, and I know she's gonna be successful in this. And to me, that was so inspiring. I also had someone that my other trainee was basically someone that she's an esthetician, and she does facials, and she wants to add body contouring to her business. She basically already has a beauty bar right there, and she is like, I cannot remember, I think like 23 or 24. And that to me is so inspiring. She started to tell me, I do this, I do that, and then I have a boutique in there in the same space, and then I also make products. And I think of myself as a busy person, and and then she has 2 kids. Like, she has a 5-year-old, no, or like a 4-year-old, and then a toddler. And I'm like, girl, that just inspired me, because then now I feel like I'm not doing enough. So, and then I had someone else that had just my other trainee that is gonna be doing body contouring with that same girl that I just told you about. They're gonna be in the same beauty bar, right? And it is so amazing to see women basically helping each other succeed, because the one that already does the facial, that's gonna be her main thing. She also wanted to learn to do the body contouring, so that like they could kind of back off, like have each other's back, in case like one gets sick or whatever, like vice versa. But the fact that she is willing to allow her friend to come into her beauty bar to do this, almost like her own, like renting a space, right? Because that is so brilliant. Because what's gonna happen is, while this girl is over here doing her clients, she's still gonna be making money while she's at home, or like if she decides to take the day off, or if she's doing facials, she's gonna be doing now the double the money because this other girl's working. And you kind of see how cool it is to basically help each other, versus if this business owner or this girl that owns a beauty bar already, like if she would have been like hateful and thought, oh, I'm not gonna let her work at my business, I'm not gonna let her basically use my clientele that I have built. No, she is smart, and I can tell that she's gonna go places. She is amazing, and then they're both super sweet, so they're gonna be very relatable, they're gonna be very welcoming to their clients, and they're gonna grow. They're really gonna grow. I'm excited to see that. My other trainee, I had 4 trainees this weekend. My other trainee, she is she works at a restaurant, and so then she started telling me that she wants to be mobile, and her target audience, I was so inspired by all of my trainees, honestly, so inspired. My other trainee is basically she works at a restaurant, right? Hold on, I'm getting a little thirsty. That is so good. She works at a restaurant, and her target audience is basically people like the business owner that owns the restaurant. And she wants to be mobile, because these people that tend to own businesses, they want to have the convenience of you coming to them. And the best part is that they're willing to pay that travel fee because they can afford to. And then a lot of times they have these big old homes, and they invite their friends and family over, and usually people that have money like that only hang around other people that have money like that as well, okay? So what's gonna happen is whoever is there is gonna ask her, hey, can you do me? And then the friend is gonna find out, and then the neighbors are gonna find out, and guess what? That's how she's gonna build her clientele. And it is amazing, honestly, because when you're mobile, you get to write off your mileage, your car note, I think your car note too, I cannot remember, your gas, your phone bill, your tires, your oil changes, and you get to charge a fee for going to them. Come on. And then on top of that, you get tipped. So, oh, and then on top of that too, you get freedom, because let's say you finish with this client and now you have to go to the next client. So then, like, you know what, I feel like getting myself a Starbucks drink on the way there. Like, you get to get out of the office. Like, it is just the most amazing thing ever. I was so inspired by this group of girls. I was so happy that I got to train them, and that's why I'm here in front of you today. So if, in case any of you ladies are watching, thank you so much for coming to me and choosing me as your mentor. And let me just tell you that you have inspired me so much, and you may be thankful for me, and you may be grateful for the fact that you found me, and I'm generally very eager to help you and to teach you my techniques, not just the basic, here's how you do this, and then you go and then you leave like, girl, I saw that on a YouTube video, but yeah, I came and paid you for the same thing. No. So I'm glad that God sent me you ladies. I needed to see that, and I needed to feel that love. Right now, while I'm talking about training, I do want to point out that that you can, if you're interested in training with me, you can actually go to bodycontouringdoll.com, and when you click on book now, you can scroll all the way down and it's going to say training classes. It's going to show you I offer 3 packages, right? Whether you just want your certification with me to learn my techniques, or if you just want or if you want the full bundle where you literally get everything that you need to start your business, or if you just want to get the certification along with just the cavitation machine, that is totally fine too. I offer that. So you can choose whatever package you're wanting to do, and then you can also see the class dates, and you can just sign up online, because I do get a lot of questions about that. And I also got someone that pointed out to me that they enjoyed the video, but that they wanted to also see like my pages. So to see the type of work that I do, you can go to my Instagram or even Facebook. On Instagram, my handle is @body contouring.doll. I'll put that on the screen as well. On Facebook, you can find me as Body Contouring Doll LLC. You can see all of my before and afters, and you can get inspired by a lot of our posts. You can get inspired, but do not screenshot, okay? Do not screenshot and do not copy exactly like what it says. Get inspired, but you know, don't copy like exactly. Because it's not that I'm hateful, it's just that, especially in a business where you have to be very creative, you have to think about basically thinking outside the box, right? Yeah, you can go and screenshot like a bunch of stuff from someone else's page and just post it to yours, but it's not going to look very authentic. And usually clients and people that want to follow you and that want to support you, they see through that. And if you don't feel like you're authentic and you're legit about what you're doing, or like wanting to actually help people, then you tend to not get those followers, you tend to not get that support. So that is the reason why I say that. So now that I kind of filled you guys in and what I've been up to, I want to go through. I actually went through last night and basically answered a bunch of questions. I believe I got to everyone's question. If you feel like I have not answered one of your questions, drop that down below, please. Also, I do want to get feedback on certain things that I talked about today. What do you guys think about if I just change my YouTube name to my name? And what do you think about me bringing you behind the scenes to my actual life, not just me sitting in front of a camera, like having to always explain something? Like, would you find that interesting? I get asked about videos like, can you show us your day-to-day life? And then I'll make a video, and then I kind of start editing the video, and then I start to think like, wow, this looks really boring. Like, I don't think anyone would really watch this, just because like it's not very informative, you know. So just tell me what you think about that, because that is really something that I want to start doing. I want to bring you through my like weight loss journey. By the way, dang it, I don't have any inside of my vehicle. So I had gotten basically like a batch of detox teas that I purchased. Like, basically when you purchase them, even if it's just a sample, you have to put your logo on there, so you have to brand them, right? Well, it's not necessary, but you might as well. You have to brand them, and so I branded some. I ordered them, and I was like, I'm gonna test these products and I'm gonna make sure that they work, and then, you know, if they do work, then I already have it branded and I can just allow my clients to purchase them. So when we came back from those trips that we went on, I started taking my daily detox tea, and within 13 days I had lost 10 pounds, I believe. Now, like, total I've lost 13, but like within those 13 days I had lost I had lost a pretty good amount of weight. And then I've been incorporating like workouts here and there. Of course, I'm not as consistent as I would like to be, but a workout a week is better than like 0 workouts per week. So you know, I'm just trying to take baby steps. Before I started my business, I had actually lost 40 pounds. Being like just extremely consistent with cardio and with working out and weightlifting and blah blah blah, and of course eating well. Whenever I started my business, I just kind of got too busy to do anything. So and then after that COVID happened, and we kind of didn't have anything else to do at home but, you know, eat and make new recipes and all of that. So I want to bring you along my journey, my weight loss journey that I'm about to jump into. What is that? Oh, so I want to basically go through, so I feel like I answered most of the questions on here, but there are some comments that I would like to kind of further explain, and I didn't want to have to type all of it out basically. Let's see. So someone asked, what's the difference between the machine you put on the description box and the other ones? So it's very hard to say because there are so many machines, but the one that I put in the description box was one of the cheapest ones that I could find, and the link that I put to that is actually to a pretty trustworthy website. So that is the reason why I included that specific, I think was leading you to like Gizmo, and it's pretty small enough. It's a good enough price for you guys to start with, because remember that you can always start with something small and then upgrade as you start making money. I don't want you to feel like you need to have everything so perfect before you start, okay? I don't want you to be afraid. Just, girl, throw yourself out there, okay? Just don't quit your job yet. No, it's up to you, you know. I'm not saying it's a good idea, I'm not saying it's a bad idea, because it just definitely depends on your personal life. Okay, so someone asked, I'm new to the body contouring business, but as I progress, I want to train people. Where does one get certificates and all that good stuff? So it of course depends on where you're located. I am located in Houston, Texas. So here specifically, body contouring is not something that is regulated yet. With that being said, that just means that, you know, that there's nothing specific that you need, but there is, I have found some people that do basically certification classes for being a body sculpting instructor, like just period, you know. So you could do one of those classes. I never did one of those classes, but one thing about me is that it took me a really long time to actually put together a training manual that has like over 100 pages of training material, because I wanted to feel like, okay, like I can actually help you, I can actually give you the information that's gonna answer all of your questions. And it took me a while to make sure that I felt like I was really putting all of that in there, right? So with that being said, if you are thinking about training and you know that your state does not require you to have a specific type of licensing or permitting to train someone, just make sure that you actually mastered the technique before you train someone. Make sure that you actually know what the heck you're talking about, because what happens is people, your trainees, are gonna ask you 1,001 questions, and they're gonna know if you have no idea what you're talking about whenever you go to answer those. If your answer is always like, oh well, I'm not sure, I'll get back to you on that, or oh, I don't know, let me look on the manual, then it just tells the person that you basically just copied someone else's manual, which you should not be doing, by the way, because you could get sued for a lot of money, and that you're just wanting to make fast money, which is never a good thing. If you're wanting to become a trainer, an instructor, I would say just make sure you know what you're doing, what you're talking about. Make sure that you start to be able to answer people's questions on the spot, and make sure that you're gonna be someone that's actually gonna be helpful and supportive versus, oh, now that I trained you, oh, you're here in my city, your competition. No. You see the call come in, or like the text message like asking you a question. Oh no girl, I'm not gonna help you because then you're gonna steal my clients. No. You cannot be an instructor and go at it with that type of mentality. If you're gonna be an instructor, know that a lot of people in your own town and city and in your area are gonna want to reach out to you because you're close to them, so they want you to teach them versus them having to travel and fly and all of that. So you do want to have the proper mindset and know that even if they're down the street, and they may. We came up with a temporary wall that we built up, right? And then we actually I found this place that's local here in Houston, Texas. It's almost like a warehouse, and they sell flowers, just everything type of flower stuff to people that do weddings and event planning and things like that. I found it cheaper versus buying it on Amazon, but I've also seen people sell the flower wall pieces on Etsy, which is also cheaper than Amazon. Now the warehouse that I found here in Houston, Texas, I can't really give you the information for it because I did ask them and they said that they don't ship. So if you're here in Houston, Texas, to find them, because honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember their exact location. I just know that they're like somewhere in the Grease Point area. If you want to find them though, you can look up on Facebook Market, look up a flower wall, and it's gonna give you, like, of course, like all the vendors and stuff. And her Facebook name is Susan, and so you just ask her and she'll let you know the information so you can go pick that up. So her pricing was $18 per square, right? And I say square, but I mean like a rectangle. The rectangles are like literally about this big, so like 3 times the size of my head. And each piece is about like $18 or so, and then you just basically, of course, like get as many pieces as you need to cover your wall. And she requested that I make a video about how to make the wall, but when we moved into this location, the way that my husband put up like the pieces for me, he did it in a way to where like we knew we're gonna be staying at this place for a while, so he kind of did it, I don't want to say permanently, but it's really hard to take off, to come off, because we didn't want this to be like accidentally falling on our client's head. So he did it with nails versus like I don't know, like because they kind of come in like a piece to where you kind of put it together like a puzzle. So he did it with the nails instead of just following what it comes with. So I can't take it down and then make the video about putting it up. But it's fairly easy. It's really easy. I did not buy the piece and then put the flowers in there myself. That would have just taken way too long. And people say that it's cheaper to do that. I don't know how much cheaper that would be, honestly, because I don't know, flowers are expensive. I mean, you can find like cheaper ones, but the really nice pretty ones are usually a little pricier. So it's definitely up to you how you want to make it. I would recommend the way that I made it just because it was so much easier, but yeah, it was a little pricey. Let's see, let me keep looking at these comments. Darnell said, how do I get training with you? So again, you can go to bodycontouringdoll.com, click on book now, and then scroll down. You're gonna see my training classes. You're gonna see my different packages and pricing and class information. All of my classes include the information on what is covered, what like the kit includes, what the kit includes, or like if it's just like a certification. Candace Jackson said, where can I take your class? Again, bodycontouringdoll.com. I'm in Houston, Texas. Fernanda said, you're adorable. Thank you so much, girl. Motivates me to keep posting. So Melanie said, so do I use oil or ultrasound gel? Okay, so this is honestly preference. I keep both on hand just because with some body types, like you know how our skin types are different, same thing with their stomach. On some people it's so much easier to use gel, and on other people it's just easier to use oil. Oh, my camera's about to die. No. So someone said, for cavitation machine, do you need 4 different machines? Also for breast lift and... Okay, so cavitation... See, okay, this is why I would recommend, like, if you have these type of questions, take a training course. It doesn't have to be my training course, but you have to take a training course because it seems like there's a high amount of confusion in this. So do not start working on someone if you're not taking a training course, okay? Because you could possibly hurt someone, burn them, whatever. Someone said, could you tell us more information about steps on how we can open our own body contouring salon? This is pretty cool. I want to make a video over that. Well, Lupe Mendez, thank you so much. A big shout out, because I noticed that she went through and actually answered some of y'all's questions, which is very helpful. Thank you so much for being a supportive I don't want to say female, supportive. Hey guys, so you just noticed my camera died, and I am currently editing, and I realized that the video is just overly long. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut it into 2 parts. Next part coming up is going to answer a lot of the questions that I received in the comments. I will be posting these 2 videos probably like a few hours apart. If you are still watching, thank you so much for sticking around. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below about what you think. I am really highly considering changing my YouTube name just simply to my name, so I feel more comfortable uploading whatever I feel like uploading. So let me know how you guys feel about that, and I hope to see you on the next video. Bye.